hygiene. Mainly the Muslims named the mechanical engineering as the beneficial trick. Even they had very nice names in naming their science, the beneficial tricks. Because it's in the beginning you see such a machine, some inputs, outputs, but you don't know what's happening inside. So they named it as the beneficial tricks. The first people who excelled in this science was the sons of Musa. Sons of Musa, as I said, they were three brothers, one astronomer, one engineer, one mechanist, and they made a book called the beneficial tricks, and they introduced many designs and they made their physical models. For example, they made the automated valves that works on different time spans. They made the windproof lamp, as you can see there in the copy of their book. In this windproof lamp, it wouldn't distinguish because of the wind, and the filament and the oil is exchanged automatically. And what they did as well is the first musical instrument, musical mechanical instrument work with some kind of cylinders and some kind of puppet. And also they had many contributions, like they were the first people who made a very precise equation of the ellipse. Then Al-Jazri. Here when you speak about mechanical engineers, you have to speak about Al-Jazri, and I hope many of you would listen about this man. This man, the first man who introduced the idea of the translation of the slide motion into rotary motion, which is the basic principle in any internal combustion engine now, in the cars, in the ships, anywhere. He was the first man who did it in a physical model, and he mentioned in this book, as you can see, which was one of his most remarkable inventions. Other inventions he made is the elephant clock, as you can see here. And they made a physical model, I think in the Museum of London, of the elephant clock. And the Caliphate in that time, he asked him to make other type of clock to send it to his friend, the King of France. And it was, in this clock he introduced the first concept of automation. This kind of clock, I may show you a video later, that when, for example, the time is 3, you find from the back door of the clock came 3 knights on their horses, and there is some birds, drop some balls from their peaks, some songs, some very, very, very sophisticated mechanism in behind the clock. If we said that he was the first one who introduced the automation, he's also the first one who introduced the humanoid robot. The Caliphate in that time, he asked him, I want to exchange my servant who served me the water for making ablution, for making the wudu, for the prayer. He invented to him this kind of robot. He's a robot, he's having a jar of water in one hand and a towel in the other hand. And once the time of the prayer comes, it comes to him, give him the water, the towel, make some songs and come back. And this was the first kind of humanoid robot that has been invented. Abbas ibn Firnas. Abbas ibn Firnas, maybe lots of you heard about it, and we used to make jokes about him in our country. We say, he's the one who went to the eminence of the mountain trying to fly, and he fell and died. But all this is false. It is the most respect word that I can use for the people who falsify this. That Abbas ibn Firnas, he was a very, very famous and intelligent scientist in Andalusia. He had many inventions rather than the flight trial. He made the colorless crystal. He was an astronomer. He used to make in his seals some kind of a map of the stars and in the sky. And people, even from Baghdad, they used to come to see this piece of art. And one of his trials is his flight trials in the last days of his life. He started to study the aerodynamics of the birds, of the flights, and he designed some kind of wings, and he gathered the governor in that place, and gathered the people from the city, and he went to the eminence of the mountains, and he did the first successful flight. They said that he flight over maybe 1.5 kilometers. But he didn't made such a design for the tail. He didn't know that when the birds landed the tail, so he had serious injuries in his back. And many people who witnessed this experiment commented on his experiment. For example, they said he flew faster than Phoenix in his flight when he dressed his body in the feathers of a vulture. So also, when you go back in our schools and they are telling us that brother rights, they are the first people who made a successful flight trial, we have to say, excuse me, it's not accurate. Then if we speak about, geography. If we speak about the geography, let's speak about the roundness of the earth. Who discovered the roundness of the earth? First of all, there was many beliefs in the past that, from the Greeks, they believed that the earth is a circular object. For example, the Romans, they believed it's some kind of wheel. Some others, they believed it's flat. And they were burning who says it's not flat. So, and if you search in the encyclopedias to see the first one or the first group who determined that the earth has a round shape, it has been proved through a circumnavigation process in the 15th century or the 16th century through Juan Sebastian Elenco. He took his ship, he'd make 4 rounds, he found that he came back from the same place, he said it's round. While we found out that the Muslims discovered this in theory before they do it in practice, before many years, like Al-Biruni. Al-Biruni did it in India because he knew already that the earth has a round shape from their book. He went to the eminence of a mountain and he measured the curvature of the earth, and through some trigonometric functions, they even measured the circumference of the earth, and they proved their roundness. And if you speak about the roundness of the earth, even before proving it practically and through mathematics, it was known for all the Muslim scientists, the science of the modern science, of the physics and geography, and even the religious science. Well, I'll give you just a small hint. In the Quran, there is a verse, Allah says, وَالْأَرْضَ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ دَحَاهَا. The earth, He made it dahaha. What does this mean when you go to some Arabic dictionaries? Dahaha means He made it as a ball, and mainly daha means the egg of ostrich. You know the ostrich? Naama? It has some oval shape, and this is true. The earth is not completely round. It has an oval shape, which is very accurate. And in another verse, for example, يكور الليل على النهار ويكور النهار على الليل. He wraps the night over the day and the day over the night. And يكور comes from kura. Kura means ball. He wrapped. That's why came many scientists like Ibn Rusta, Al-Idrisi, Ibn Hazm. They all said, for example, Ibn Hazm, he said, they pointed out that the earth has been established to be round, but the commoners, the normal people, they refute this. But my answer, may Allah accept it, no Muslim imam or scientist denied the roundness of the earth from the 7th century. They proved the roundness of the earth. Then about the rotation of the earth, there is 3 scientists that spoke about the possible rotation of the earth, while it was prohibited in many places to speak about the rotation of the earth. The first one who put the longitude and the latitude lines in the map was Abu Ali al-Maraqshi in the 13th century, but we didn't know this. The measuring as I said, the circumference of the earth, Al-Biruni, he measured the circumference of the earth, and his measure was 6,339, which is less than the current measure by just 16 kilometers. The first accurate map that has been drawn in history, Al-Idrisi. Al-Idrisi is a very famous geographer. He drew the first accurate map, and this map was studied by NASA in the early 70s, from the accurate details on this. And as you can see, they used to have Europe in the south, and it's vice versa. But it has nothing to do with we are up and they're down, because it's all sphere, So you say I'm in the south, I'm in the north. Then the discovery of the 6th continent, the southern continent. In one of the maps of Al-Idrisi, he discovered the 6th continent as well. if we speak about, you know the story that the discovery, the road of from Portugal to India through the sailor Vasco da Gama.